A said, what about the planets? If there are no stars, then there are no planets. But I will show you up close the planets. Firstly, all images are fake. They're all CGI. It doesn't matter what image, whether even if it's a little kiddie cartoon, that's still imagination. It's just imagination. For your discernment. All the planets, there are allegedly 9 of them, including Earth. They declassified Uranus as a planet. It's not big enough, whatever. There were 9 planets, and I don't know, Venus, Mercury, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus. Is that right? There they are. Right, there's the planets. They declassified Uranus, though, didn't they? So there's only 7 now. 8 planets. Right, there you go. 9 bodies in the system, including the sun. We're the third rock from the sun, as the TV show explains. So, looking at these images, not one of these images is real. In close up, it don't matter. I want a real big version of it. These are all CGI. None of them are real. Not one of them. The distances to them are not real. You cannot see 1,000 miles. You know you can't. There isn't a telescope on Earth that can see 1,000 miles. Bear that in mind. So whatever we're looking at is a lot closer. Every image that NASA give us it's crap. It's bollocks. It doesn't exist. It's just CGI. It's computer generated images. CGI. The size of the sun versus the Earth. Look, the sun is 400 times bigger than the Earth. That looks more than 400 times bigger than the Earth, doesn't it? Jupiter and Saturn are the 2 biggest planets, allegedly. When you look through the telescope at them, I've got a P900, right? P900 planets. The planets and the stars. Right, that's what they look like. That is literally what they look like through a P900. The actual stars don't look like this. These are meant to be planets. These are the wandering stars, okay? The wandering stars. That's what it looks like through the P900. I've looked at it myself. I've seen 4 moons going around Jupiter. Well, I haven't seen 4 moons. I've seen 4 bright objects next to Jupiter. But it looks nothing like what they say. Yeah, that's what they look like. Stars look like that. Actually, Venus and Mercury do look like this. They do look kind of starish, like the stars. But they're closest, apparently. The ones that are further away, Saturn and Jupiter, they certainly do look like that through the P900. But they look nothing like that through any telescope. I don't care what you say. You haven't got... we certainly don't have the technology to get that image of picture. We get this image here. With a P900, even a P1000, it's no better. With the P1000, they gave a greater zoom, but they didn't add the pixels. It remained at 15 megapixels, same as the P900. In reality, they should have made that zoom twice as strong, which is what they said they did, and then they should have made the graphics of the camera itself should have been higher than 15 meg. It should have been a 24 meg camera, or if it had been 34 meg, you would have got a much more resolution on these to see exactly what we're looking at, and they didn't want that. That's why NASA bought the P900. They bought Nikon. NASA bought Nikon to stop people from having access to this. Even that quality tells you, how can my camera, right? Mars is 30 million miles away. How can a camera on Earth see 30 million? We're not even talking about 30,000. We're talking about 30 million miles away. Not a chance. Everything is closer than you can imagine. These so-called planets, the wandering stars, are in range of the Nikon's field of vision. We can see them with the naked eye, but we can't see them like that with the naked eye. They just look like white dots, right? Or different, slightly coloured different dots. But they look like dots. The camera can zoom in, but it can't give me the clarity I want. You'd have to upgrade the megapixels to get greater clarity on these pictures. Anyway, let's show you what it looked like on video real quick, because we can do that. Videos. Zoom in Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, and the Moon in one shot. There you go.
Dave's just used Confused.com, so the thought of car insurance no longer weighs him down.
I don't want this.
Oh, shut up. FTM, Dave's got a skull like an egg.
When you've just used Confused.
There we go. Right. Actually, let's go to YouTube and watch it. Open that. Oh, more adverts. Oh, winding me up. There we go. Let's raise that up. Quality to 1080. HD. There you go. Right. Who did he say that was? Did he say that's the... I'm sure he said that was Mars there. I'm not sure. It's not red enough for Mars. Right, the moon glows. Right, you know the moon glows. If anyone was to stand on the moon, it would be bright. It wouldn't be dull like that what it showed us. That's with a P900. You're telling me that the top of the arch, top of the range zoom camera in the world can look 250,000 miles? Lies. I don't care whose camera it is. You can't see and there's no lens that can see 250,000 miles. Meaning this object, whatever it is closer than they tell us. This shimmering effect, air is water. It could also be travelling through water as well. I agree. It could be on the outside of the firmament in the waters of the deep. And that's what gives the shimmering. I think it's the air, because air is water, especially through heat. You're going to get this rippling effect. But it does look like, regardless whether it is underwater or it's in air, it looks like it's shimmering underwater, correct? Whatever that is, it's close. I've read the Mason's description of it where it says there's a black hole sun at the center of the Earth where Mount Meru is. Every compass points to it. And it projects two plasma lights, balls, one the sun, one the moon, from the center of the Earth in the same angle as the Masonic compass. So you got the compass pointing down to the black hole sun, and the black hole sun projects it outwards like that. And then from the position of your sun, it shines down over, as above, so below almost. You understand? Right. Let's zoom this along. That looks like Mars. It looks red. It can't be. It's moving the same speed. That's red. That's Mars, right? Or is it Saturn? Actually, it looks like Saturn now. I see it. It is Saturn, look. And I have seen that for myself. That's what it looks like through my P900. Is this a P900 or a P1000 I put in? P900. That's exactly what I saw through my camera. I've got this camera. I zoomed in on Saturn. That's exactly what it looked like. It doesn't look like what NASA showed me. If they have got better zooms and better megapixels, which I assume they have, their own testimony is that they have got 35 times zoom is what they've got maximum, which is not good enough to see anything that's light years away, millions of miles away. It's not good enough. Whatever Saturn is, it's smaller than they told you, and it's closer than they told you. It's like the sun, the moon, and everything else. It's closer and smaller than what they've told you, what you believe they are. Well, I think I paid. What did I pay for mine? I paid £1,000. It was brand new when I first got one. It was £1,000. Then it's dropped down to about, I don't know, 700 when the P1000 came out, and that went to £1,000. But for me, the P1000's only got a better zoom. It hasn't got better resolution. It's got exactly the same resolution when you zoom in on it. Let's put P1000 in there quick, look. You've seen that one. P1000 Saturn. And see what comes up. You see the difference? And there isn't any. Or barely any. P1000 zoom in with Saturn. There you go.
Asana helps your team manage any kind of work. Try it for free.
P1000 zooming in on Saturn from Earth. What did it say the distance was? Distance from the Earth, 1,424,000. Wait, is that? No, that's 1 billion. Is that 1 billion? It is 1 billion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. 10 numbers. Oh, it's kilometers. That's why it's so big. I didn't think it was that far away. So take a third off that and you've got your answer. I don't know. 800 million miles. Something stupid. You're telling me a camera from Earth can zoom in 80 million miles or whatever the stupid distance is from Earth. Turn the music off. And here's again, where's the rest of the universe? Right? There's no way you can look out from Earth, zoom in on Saturn and not see the rest of the universe zooming in with it. Why do we only see the one star? Where's the rest of the universe? This camera can see 80 million miles to Saturn. If it can see 80 million miles, then it can see another few million into the next load of planets and stars. So it's nonsense, but there you go. This is what it looks like through the P1000. Let's turn that resolution up. Yeah, it's in 360. Oh, we've got 4K. Let's have a look in the 4K quality, if it'll let me. And there's no effing difference, is there? It gets closer, but there's no resolution to the planet, is there? So when you ask what about the planets are exactly the same problem. The only two that look like this is Saturn and Jupiter. All the rest still do what the other stars do for some reason. These look more like images, paintings compared to the rest. Titan, that's the moon. Did you see the moon? You can barely see it, look. And that's on a P1000. I would change the ISO for a better view. It's dull. It's boring, look. I can't believe people fall for this crap. As soon as I looked through my P900 and saw that, I was like, that's shite. Why are people even interested in this? I've got no idea. That's the best that money can buy. A P1000 zooming in on Saturn. That's as good as the clarity you're going to get on it. And if you believe that camera, I don't care if it's state-of-the-art, best zoom in the world, right, if it can zoom in on Saturn, giving a blurred image from 80 million miles away, then it should be able to zoom straight across the, let's just say from England to Holland, 200 miles, no problem. If it is seeing blurred images of Saturn at 80 million miles, 200 miles should give me a high definition image of the coastline of Holland. And I can't do it. I cannot stand in England. And it's only 200 miles. North Sea map. North Sea map. So I should be able to stand in England, lot, and zoom from there's Grimsby, lot. Look, Grimsby. From Grimsby to the Netherlands, that's 200 miles. I should be able to, if this camera can see as far as you believe, on a clear day, I should be able to stand in Grimsby on the beach or on a hill and zoom straight across 200 miles to the Netherlands, but I can't. The only place you can do it is here, 20 miles. The camera will see 20 miles to France. Dover to Calais. Oh, it can see that. Watch. P900 Dover beach test. Dover test. That should be it, right? Dover test. That should be it. Garrison Hill Tower at Dover. Nikon. That's Wild with New England. That's not right. P900 zoom test. Readable distances. 1,109 meters and more. Can you read this? Oh, let's have a look at this. The distances. Tree, father. Of course, the moon included. 333 meters. P900 zoom. That's a pretty good camera, isn't it? It is, though. 400 meters away, it can zoom in, but it is blurred, look. It is blurring at 400 meters. But you can read this. That's not bad, right? P900. Then he stands further. What's the next one? 1,109 meters. You can still read it. Barely, but you can still read it. 1,109 meters away. But the image is blurred, right? 6.55 kilometers away. 3 miles. Look how, just like looking at the moon, everything's wavy. The air. Because the P900 is looking through 3 miles worth of air and heat, etc. But he's still zoomed in 3 miles, look. That camera's pretty good, right? 3 miles. But you saw the resolution on it, right? So another one. Now the moon. Yeah, go on then. Give us your distance to the moon. Right? Explain it to me like I'm 4 years old. How can the resolution on the moon, which is 250,000 miles away, be better than the 3 mile distance we just looked at? Look at the resolution that you can get on this camera looking at an object in the sky over 1 over distance. You're telling me my P900, it's just a P1000, that's a P900. A P900 can zoom in on the moon and give resolution like that, but cannot zoom in on this hill and give me the same resolution. Whatever the moon is, it's close. It really is. Where's the Dover test? Unbelievable. Epic zooms. The boat edition. I want to see Dover to Calais. That might be it. Let's have a look. There he is. He's either in Dover or Calais. 20 miles. He can zoom. Oh, he's going for the boats. Oh, there you go. Calais. On the other side. Or Dover. Wherever he's stood. He might not even be in Calais. He might be on the coast further up. Looking back a few miles. I don't know. But the distance over 20 miles, it becomes blurred. And not in resolution. Test Nico zooms straight at Gibraltar. Not bad, but still not high resolution, right? Good, but not high resolution. And that's about the megapixels, right? That's why they can't give you that. The stronger they make the cameras, the easier it is for us to undo their lies. Imagine going up in Concorde and filming the flat Earth from 70,000 feet. All passenger planes fly at 30,000, 6 miles. Mount Everest height. Bobby Joe Long. You got some close set eyes, Bobby. Oh, dang it. There we go. I really want to see Dover to Calais. Dover. P900 Dover to Calais. As if it's not there. As if no one's done that with a P900. Are you kidding me? I could have sworn I've seen a Dover to Calais. P900 Dover to Calais. There it is. What did he say the distance was? I wasn't paying attention. 25 miles. Now you'll see the resolution, you see. 25 miles. He is above water, though, look. He's definitely on a hill. As he zooms in, more and more ships come into view as well, look. Oh, is that land there? 20 miles. There you go. 20 miles straight across. A P900, 20 miles. Look out. It looks like the moonlight. Blade. It's not in resolution. You can get resolution on it, but it's not in high def, is it, look? It's wavy. It's blurry, look. The colours are lagging. Or should I say lacking? But that's 20 miles. 20 miles. And that is a clear reference to you that you're crossing the English Channel. Please tell me that map's back up. It is. You're crossing 20 miles of water there. And it becomes blurred and out of focus, right? 20 miles of water. And that's what happens. So looking up towards the moon and it starts to do this, you have a distance, don't you? You start to get a reference of distance to what you're looking at compared to what they've told you. So the P900 on full zoom, look, can barely see 20 miles, look, Calais. I'll give you that, though. It's all foggy and misty out there. If it was a clearer day, you might get better resolution. But still at that, it's 20 miles. I think the furthest I've seen with mine is 40 miles. I was stood on Caister Top, which is the highest hill out of Grimsby, just behind Grimsby. And I was looking back towards Lincoln. Lincoln, 40 miles. I could see the church spires, but it looked just like that video we watched. I could see the Humber Bridge 15 miles away. But again, it wasn't in high. Even at 15 miles, I'm cutting through 15 miles of heat, water. It changes the aspect of the things you're looking at, right, over distance. So, there's your answer, Renee. The stars don't exist. The planets don't exist. There's only Earth. And you could even say that the sun and moon don't exist if they are plasma. Because it's definitely not a burning ball of fire, the sun. And the moon is not a big rock that glows. Whatever they are, they're probably not what they told us. They don't exist in the way stars don't exist. It's an optical illusion to us. Something is definitely projected into the sky, I'll give you that. But the minute I go up in an aeroplane, there's no stars in space. There's no stars on Mount Everest. There's no stars on an aeroplane. So, you've got to ask yourself the question, what are these objects? What is creating heat from the sun? If it's a projection, why does the moon not project that heat? Why is it a cooler light? But there you go. 20 miles across the English Channel to France, and you can barely recognise what you're looking at. That looks like an industry. Looks like a conveyor belt from 2 tanks. But that's not bad, right? 20 miles. It's not bad. For the money I paid for the camera, it's not a bad zoom on it. However, whatever it is that I'm looking at in the sky is also not that far away. Because the images of the stars look like this, blurry and slightly out of focus. I hope that answers your questions, Renee. There you go. But this is nonsense. This is absolute utter tosh. And they can. Why they've sent satellites out into deep space? They've reached Uranus and Neptune. Why can't the satellite look back and take that picture when all the planets align once a year or whenever it happens? Why can't the satellites take that from space and show us the great big sun and then Venus, Mercury, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, la 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 la? Why can't they show us that? It's just like seeing an eclipse from the space station. Why can't we see that? Why can't we see any of these things from space? Why do you just give us cartoons? Your answer's real simple. That space does not exist. The stars do not exist. I'll tell you what was nice though. I saw a race today. And I've told you plenty of times, where I live in Grimsby, when I look up at the night sky, it does not look like this. That is absolutely spray painted, isn't it? Mine's peppered. Just peppered with stars here and there. It looks nothing like this, but Race went down to Brighton this weekend with Cam, and he said if we'd gone 5 miles east, Dad, we'd have been able to see the Milky Way like this. He said, but look at the picture I got from where we were at. And I was astonished. I was literally astonished by Race's picture. I was like, you saw that with the naked eye? He said, yeah, it looked amazing, Dad. But it was still, if we'd gone 5 miles to the left, it'd have been so clear. It'd look like this picture, Dad. And he showed me another one. I was like, wow. That's what the sky looks like from the south of England. I would never have known that you could see the Milky Way from the coast of England. Because I live in the north. I live up the top